Nice.
Hello, this is Vedahi Nanavekar, and even I'm from third year IT.
Cool.
Hi, this is Ashlesha Bagre and I am also from third year IT.
Anyone
Hello,
else?
I'm Adele D'Souza and I'm from second year IT.
Wow, second year. Nice.
Hi, I am Saurabh Malviya and I'm from TEXTC.
Which year, Saurabh?
Third year EXTC.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, sir. I'm Durva Kadam and I'm from second year IT.
Hi, Dhruva. And you can call me Paritosh. No sir required.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Prithviraj. I'm from EXTCT.
Hey, Prithvi.
Excuse me,
Hello, my
sir.
name is
Vedant, you introduced. I'll continue then.
Hello, my name is Vedant Makwana, and I'm from third year comms.
Great.
I guess everyone's done with the introduction. So, sir, our session is being streamed live on YouTube. Hence, we are just the team members in the meet, and our students can watch you through YouTube.
Got it. Cool. Let me share my screen. Oh gosh.
Sir, before you begin with, I would like to hand over to Adele. She has a little introduction for you.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. Oh, he left.
Should I speak or should I wait for sir to come back?
Please wait for sir to come back.
Okay.
Adele, I would like to request you to please put your cam on when you're introducing the speaker. Please, you've got 5 minutes. You can just tech up till then. And Durva, same for you. And whoever's talking, please keep your cam on.
Hey folks, can you hear me? I got dropped off. Can someone acknowledge?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir, we can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Thank you.
I think Adele, you can take over.
Okay. A very good evening to our esteemed speaker and all the students present here. I am Adele D'Souza, and it gives me immense pleasure to extend to you a very warm welcome on behalf of the SFIT Alumni Association. Discover your passion in strategic planning, engineering, design, marketing, and more. The bridge linking all of them is product management. NASSCOM brings you a transformative course that unveils the art of crafting products which we rely on daily, from social media apps to any products we use. Ever wondered about the minds behind all of these innovations? Or what goes into making a product a success? That's the role of a product manager. After a bit of research, we found out that approximately 35% of our SFITians have gone on to become product managers. And the trend is catching on big time in India too. But the journey is tough, and hence we thought about giving you a head start in it. No coding expertise is required. This path is open to all of you. Ready to shape your future? Your journey begins right here. NASSCOM leads India's tech revolution, uniting major firms like TCS, Infosys, etc., and is the apex body for the $245 billion industry. Its motto is Think Digital, Think India. This certification can provide you with a structured learning path and industry recognized skills, and a competitive edge in the job market, and ability to gain practical knowledge and network with professionals in the field. This course will also help you to boost your CV and help you build a mindset early on in your career. And to tell you more about all of this, we have our esteemed speaker, Mr. Paritosh. He is a senior product manager at Apito, an IBM company, for 15 years. Previously, he worked as a senior product manager at Salesforce and held a diverse set of positions at Shell, IBM, and Accenture. Outside of work, Paritosh enjoys volunteering work, long drives, and is a certified drone pilot. Now, I would like to let Mr. Paritosh take over and lead our session. Thank you.
Thanks, Adele. Cool. So without wasting time, let me know if you're able to see my screen. Folks, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
thank you. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to talk about NASSCOM's program in the product management space, and it will be great if you can keep it interactive. I can run through what the program is about, what the product manager career generally looks like, and then we can take few question answers. Does that sound good? I hope the silence means yes.
Yes, yes.
All right. So as Adil was mentioning about the NASSCOM, so NASSCOM is like a trade body, right? Industry body for IT in India. And one of the things which we envision as a goal as part of the NASSCOM is to enable 50,000 product management professionals in India by 2025. That's a massive goal for a country like India, because the product management ecosystem has started, in last few decades here. We have made huge strides in services side of it, and now we are making great leaps of progress in the product side of it too. So what's a NASSCOM product skill offers, or what's the levers which you can leverage as part of your journey? So first is NASSCOM product skill offers is upskilling. When I say upskilling, I'm talking about the course. For example, PM 101, which we are going to talk about in next few slides, right? So upskill from your existing domain. So you may be a student, you may be an industry professional in a different capacity, different role, but if you are interested in entering into product management, we do have programs for you, which you can leverage. The second lever is evangelism. Now, you folks are aware of product management. There are many colleges, many folks who are not aware of it. So traditionally, we know about software engineering, and within software engineering, the various disciplines, right? Few folks know about the UX part of it. And consulting is by and large known. But how about product management? It's coming up in terms of awareness and advocacy. There are various apprehensions, various notions which folks have when it comes to entering the product management career, right? So addressing those concerns, addressing those gaps by advocacy is one of the levers which NASSCOM is using. Third one is, you might have heard of Women in Technology. So we do have program for Women in Products. So NASSCOM has dedicated special interest group, Slack channels, where we connect women participants and aspirants with the product leaders from the industry. Course and awareness itself is not going to just, or for that matter, even the skill is not just going to make one's career. You do need mentorship to some extent, right? So Mentoring actually helps in taking the right decisions, knowing the right learning path, or it can be, whether I'm more suited for B2C or B2B for that matter, right? I mean, you may have like, okay, should I work with a Microsoft or should I work with Uber? I mean, those working in these two companies will be totally different because the target audience, the customer base will be totally different. So you may have questions around that, or you may have questions around your product discovery, or you may have questions around how do I enter? I'm from this background, this is what I've done, what should I do in next 1 or 2 years? I hear like many of you are from second year and third year. What should I do in my next 2 years so that I'm ready for the associate product management role, which is one of the entry level roles in product management career. So that's where the mentorship can also be a great asset for you folks. The last one is PM 101 course, which we will talk. And that's where we are talking right now, industry academy engagement. And this session is part of that. I'll quickly go through the high level career path. Again, take it with a pinch of salt. Every company has their own structure, career ladders, right? So in general, by and large, you will find that the product management career start with something called as associate product manager. So in big tech companies, it's actually a rotational program. So it's usually a 2-year rotational program where you do 3 stints or 4 stints, and then you take a full-fledged product line. It gets allotted to you. Some companies may call this junior product manager. But having said that, that's basically the entry-level position which you can aspire from straight after the college. Now, this is for college folks, but it can also be an entry point for industry professionals. I think the audience doesn't require that, but I'll give you a glimpse. For example, you may find that, okay, some of your seniors are probably a software engineer or a test engineer or a data analyst, or probably they're working in financial analysts and they want to kind of switch their career to product management. So that's possible. And that's one of the things and one of the beauties of the product management career path. It is very inclusive. Everyone brings certain things on the table which can be leveraged and utilized. There's a common set of things which one need to have, which we can talk about, and which PM 101 course will actually help you to understand the fundamental concepts around the product sense, product discovery, analytics and insights, so on and so forth. But once you have that skill set, whatever you're bringing from the cross domain, that's an asset. So one can start the product management career as a fresh out of the college, like you folks, or probably they can transition from their existing careers. So both the routes are possible. Once you're done with your some time and made some impact as part of the associate product management role, you move into the product manager where you get shoulder more responsibility. I just want to clarify here one thing, that just because the title has manager doesn't mean that you are going to manage people. You are managing product, not people per se. You are going to influence a lot of people. You, as a PM, you will influence engineering, which will be your direct counterparts. You will influence the user design. You will influence the content writers or tech writers. Again, nomenclature may vary from company to company. You will work very closely with sales, marketing, and GTM teams to kind of make way and make it commercial monetization. So you will be working with plethora of roles, but you are not going to manage people directly, which is a difference between the other roles, other career paths in here. So the manager title which you have is about managing product, not the people, at least in the starting few levels. So product manager, senior product manager, all are IC tracks. So the career you can choose, if you don't like managing people, let's assume that, hypothetical example, you can continue as IC track. When I say IC, I mean individual contributor. So you're going to work on a product piece or on a product, and you will continue working on that. You're not going to manage people. You will just focus on managing the product and shipping some great features, great product, and making the company profitable. But if you like people management also, in addition to product management, you can become a people leader. So some companies call it as senior manager product management. Some companies call it as a group product manager. Then you will have a director of product management, and so on and so forth. You will go senior director, VP, CPO. That's in general, the journey in the product manager career path. What I want to highlight is whether you choose IC track or people leadership track, the product management career actually give you ample opportunity to grow. So you can grow from associate PM to principal PM or senior principal PM, or you can go in the people leadership track also. So based on your interest, there are both career paths which are available. The course which we are going to talk about, the PM 101, is actually best suited for folks like you who are in early stages in college or who want to make a transition. So that's where we are coming up with other courses like PM 201, 301, which will be suited for the other set of audience. Okay. Now what we are doing as a vision, right? So we are a platform right now, right? So we are a NASSCOM is product skills is like a platform between both the industry and academia. So we are on both the ends of spectrum. We are working with industry also, and we are working with academia also. So how does the role change when we are working with industry vis-a-vis when we are working with academia? So when we are working with industry, the goal is to kind of build a strong PM culture and PM teams or PM product org, right? I mean, that's what we want to do. The second way is we want to kind of list and contribute to the case studies, right? I mean, you may have a product group in the healthcare company, health tech. Now we have ed tech. There's a scope of lot of cross-pollination which we can learn from different sectors. So you have the PM skills, which is like a horizontal, right? I mean, it stays as is, but there's a domain-specific changes, domain-specific journeys which each PM is going to take in different verticals. So there's a scope of documenting best practices, contributing to it, case studies, and learning from that. The third one is you can use this knowledge base to kind of assess the maturity of your org, right? I mean, in industry, for example, if a head of a product wants to just checkpoint how mature the product org is, they can use these artifacts, knowledge base to kind of gauge that. If we don't know the gaps, we won't be able to kind of address those gaps. So understanding the maturity of the org is as essential as rolling out some learning and knowledge programs. Now let's take the other spectrum, which is folks like you studying in a college, institutes, right? So what we want to do is we want to kind of offer programs like PM 101 so that you are ready whenever you have the placement seasons for the associate product management kind of roles, right? So you are ready, you are equipped with all the basic skill sets which are required for that role. You are ready with the kind of resume which is required for that role. And you're ready with probably mock interviews, how to address, how to answer, right? So that's one of the things. Second, we definitely want to kind of interact with you and faculties to understand how better we can build this ecosystem. So be it any talent pool, if we want to grow in this geography, which is India, we need to have an ecosystem. And academia is one of the biggest players to kind of boost that ecosystem, right? I mean, if we have the right ecosystem in place, right level of folks entering in, the ecosystem will grow, we'll have a larger talent pool, and that means whenever the product orgs are hiring, we will have better chances of getting into those roles. So improving the ecosystem will help building the right talent pool for us, and that's where we want to kind of continue our partnership with the academia. The third one is we want to kind of encourage folks like you to join the NASSCOM product communities. So you can do this course, of course, 101, and you can join the community in terms of the Slack channels. Join the Slack channels. You will be part of the talent base. There are folks who kind of post various openings in terms of roles which are available in their startups, in their companies. And there's an opportunity to get mentored by folks also. So that's one of the ways by which we want to kind of engage with the academia. I'll take a break. Any questions so far?
No.
So
Okay.
far, none.
All right. the market is full of a lot of courses. I mean, you go to Coursera, you go to EDX, you go to any other edtech platform. I'm not discounting any of these platforms. All are great. And then there are a bunch of already academic institutions which are also giving, hefty priced courses. My intention is not to discount any of these courses. They may be great, but what makes NASSCOM's product offering unique? So the first point I'll say is it's designed and curated by the industry professionals. So NASSCOM as an industry body is actually leveraging the volunteer groups, the mentoring groups, the board groups to kind of identify what and how the product management offering can be rolled out, right, in terms of the learning skills. So it's designed and curated by the industry veterans. Second, it's very flexible. It's actually available to you just like other platforms on a self-paced fashion. So you can learn whenever time permits to you. Self-paced learning can help you understand theoretical concepts, make you learn some frameworks. But I strongly believe nothing beats the instructor-led sessions, right? So gain learnings and understanding from the self-paced and leverage the instructor-led masterclasses, which NASSCOM offers as part of the program. So of course, there are some criteria which I will run through, but yeah, by and large, if you do well in the program, you get the chance to attend masterclasses by the professionals and also attend workshops by the professionals. Finally, again, with some conditions, if you do well, you get the chance to get mentored directly by product leaders, and they can brief you about your career progression, resume reviews, interviews, mocks, and potentially connecting you with the right opportunities as the time goes. All right. So what's the plan? I mean, in the current state, the program looks like. So if you folks are interested, you can go ahead and sign up for the PM101 program on the platform. Go through the material, review the literature, and make a thorough understanding of what this job domain looks like. I mean, it's a domain first, right? I mean, then you will get into the roles. Once you're done, you can go and appear for the assessment. We do have some guardrails. So top 50% students who qualify will go for the next stage. So you get the chance to kind of attend the workshops and master classes, which I was talking about. And you also get divided into various student groups. Consider this as your capstone project, which probably, since many of you are in third year, second year, it usually is in final year, right? Or third year may be a minor project. I don't know the nomenclature, the lingo might have changed, but minor project, major project is usually in third year and fourth year. So something similar to that. So you will do a team activity. And if you folks do well there too, you get the chance to get directly mentored by the product leaders from the NASSCOM. So you get, mock interviews, resume. I just want to take a pause here and highlight that why we highlight resume review session also so many times here. Now, you cannot go and apply with a single resume to a software engineering job, product manager job, or a consulting job. The resume has to be fine-tuned, addressed accordingly. So many a times people miss that part, even though if they have kind of prepared for it. So it's very important that your CVs are tailored for this particular role. And that's why the emphasis is on mock interviews and resume reviews. Apart from, of course, the learning which you get from the PM101 program. So these are some of the mentors right now. All of these folks are like kind of leaders within their industries. And this list is growing. So you have like more people who are up for mentoring, but these are the leaders who are kind of right now there on the pool. So once you kind of done with the whole journey, you will get chance to get mentored by these folks. Cool. That's all I had from the tech perspective. I'm open for any questions, so we can have like ask me anything kind of thing. If you folks have any questions, I can help you. Let me know. How does it work? Let me stop sharing and go back. So how many of you have kind of explored the platform? Can I just get some raise of hands for PM 101? Has anyone looked into it? Okay.
Sir, we haven't. Can you elaborate a little bit more on PM 101?
Yeah, so it's a basic product management course where we are going to talk about what basic competencies are required for product management. For example, the product discovery part of it, the product sense of it, the how to handle analytics, right? I mean, you may build something great, but if you're not measuring it, how do you know whether the product feature is doing well or not? So the analytics and insights part of it. So it covers all the primary competencies which are required to do well in the product management role.
So how do you determine the target audience and the market for your product?
That's a great question. So again, it depends, varies from stage to stage, right? So for example, if you are launching a new product or if you're at concept stage, right? I mean, then you need to have this product market fit done. But let's say if you are like established product and you are coming with an incremental thing, then you will kind of know which target audience you're going to address. In terms of when I say you will know, it's like what's the unmet problem you're solving, and then how big is the problem, the scale of the problem. That defines your that helps you in defining the target audience. So just take a step back. I mean, what a product is going to do? It's going to solve something, and the difference between services and product usually is, I mean, when I say services, like the one-time ad hoc implementation for a particular customer is, you do it for a set of customers, one customer at a time. The product usually will do what it will do is like it will solve the problem at scale. Now, take example for Uber. So it's solving the transportation problem, moving from point A to point B at a scale. So when you know the problem you're going to solve, then you can come up with some numbers. Let's say, for example, you can do guess estimate. Guess estimate is one of the ways by which you can identify what will be the kind of numbers. Of course, there are other ways in the established companies. When you get into you can do competitive research, that will give you feeder. The analyst reports can be one of the feeders to get a quantifiable number. And then, of course, you do some kind of market research to kind of vet whether what you think is really going to work or not. So your problem and the problem scale helps you define what will be this audience. So for example, the transportation problem, if you're talking about, is that the problem for everyone? So you need to identify and you need to kind of restrict and the audience, right? I mean, so probably the transport problem is a problem for metro tier 1, tier 2. Probably that's not a problem for village. So the village will be ruled out from your target audience. So you will define the personas, you will define the audience based on that. So start with the problem and get further down.
Okay, so that was great. I'll read out to you some questions from our viewers on their behalf. So the first question is, what is your main role at NASSCOM, and can you give us an example of how you help?
Sorry, I missed the second part. How?
Okay, can you give us an example of how you help in NASSCOM? Like, what exactly is your role?
Okay, so I'm a volunteer in NASSCOM. So I participate in holding events like we do have an event called NASSCOM Product Conclave. It's an annual event. So last time I was part of Bharat Track. So basically startups and products working for the Indian Indian geography and for the Indian problems, right? I mean, it can be agriculture problem, it can be a tech problem of a small medium finance problem within the Indian space. So I was a curator as part of that for the session tracks. Apart from that, I do support women product conclaves or women product connects, which happen across the cities. And I at times engage with students from academia. So this is not my main job. My main job is to work with Aptio. I have a team of 3. I do that. And when I get some time, I volunteer with NASSCOM.
That's amazing, sir. Just one more question. What methods do you use to communicate updates and the progress?
So when it comes to updates and progress, there are 2 kinds of audience. One is your external audience, which is like customers, and other one is your internal audience, who are like stakeholders. So let me address in 2 separate ways. So internal audience, for example, you are the product manager driving some initiative, driving your product. So you will have a roadmap. You will have a short-term roadmap, long-term roadmap. Now these may be called different terminologies, but the roadmap will be there for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, based on the product and product's maturity. So as a product manager, you will be sending updates and communicating to all the stakeholders, be it the engineering leaders, product leaders within your org, and if it's a high visibility product, probably other stakeholders within the operating organizations, and of course the sales folks too. So you will be updating whether we are on track with respect to roadmaps. If we are at risk and for any of the items, you will be communicating it internally. So that's one way. And the second is the customer facing. And again, it depends product to product, but one of the things which you will do is, as a product manager, is for every release or everything which you are shipping, you will work with the user team or content writer team, tech writer team to have those installation guides or release notes, what's new kind of thing or what's fixed kind of thing. That's one of the communication methodologies by which you communicate with customers. Other ways are, as a PM, you would be talking in conferences. So every company may have some annual conferences where they project or showcase their products, right? And they talk about what is like the key innovative features which has been shipped. So that's another forum where the product managers will showcase and communicate what has been shipped and what will be useful for the customers. And again, this is very B2B centric. B2C will be slightly different. But in principle, most of the things in communication style will remain same. The third is you will have some user connects. You will have connects with your customers and users. So you will, if in B2B world, you will have something called as customer advisory boards, where you will have some set of customers with whom you will keep updates on. You will have some user connects where you will be talking to the users of the product. So there's a concept of buyer persona, user persona. We can talk about it some other time. But you will be talking to user personas and buyer personas in different styles and communicate what needs to be addressed. So that's how you will. Communication is important because that will help. That's one of the ways it will help you to drive adoption of your product. If the customers and users are not aware of what you are shipping, the adoption will not happen, right? And if adoption is not happening, the stickiness of the customer, which is like, are they going to continue using the products? That is also a question. And this is especially true with B2B. When I say B2B, consider products from Salesforce, Microsoft Dynamics, cloud computing kind of things. Yeah. Where you're selling it to the large or small enterprises, your softwares. So communication style will be slightly different, but you will be communicating as a PM, both internally. Internally, it's more towards talking about your roadmaps. Externally, it will be more about evangelizing and showing the demos to the customers, users, as and when required. Of course, the release note and other communication updates and emails will stay. Did that address the question, or is there anything else?
Yeah. So it was great. Thank you so much. Actually, I see a few more questions in the chat box. Would you mind if I ask them to you?
No, that's fine.
Yeah. So the first question is, what sets the NASSCOM product management certification apart from the similar programs offered by other organizations?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So as I said, the market is full of courses now, and there is plenty of material already available online. So my 2 cents right now on this front is, this course is not designed by 1% or a team of 5 or 10%. It's designed by a broad spectrum of product managers from various industry verticals. It's not like only B2B SaaS companies, product managers have developed it, or B2C companies have developed it, or what we call as GCCs, right? Global captive centers. They do have a small product management arms now, right? For example, Bajaj Finserv used to have this thing. So that's GCC. Or if you hear about United Health Group, Optum, those folks have. So GCCs now also have. So NASSCOM has brought PMs from varied groups, which is difficult for the rest of the folks because they don't have access to that many people. So the curation of content is actually giving you diverse perspective. And what sets apart is the access to the ecosystem. In other courses, you may get access to probably the alumni of that particular course. Probably 4 batches, 5 batches. Let's say 200 people attended those courses. That makes 1,000, right? NASSCOM, what it does to you, apart from your alumni plus cohort members, it gives you access to all the PM who are kind of linked on the NASSCOM platform, right? So you have access to that. You have access to the Slack channels where you can talk about the job posting. You can access mentoring channels. So I think it's not just a course. Post-course, what all is getting offered, I think that sets apart the NASSCOM's program. If you do some ROI calculation, I think this will be, you'll find benefit in the monetary aspect also, but I'm not touching monetary aspect. But definitely on ROI front, it will be much more better. Yeah.
Yes, of course, sir. The next question is, can you elaborate on the post-certification support? Are there any resources or services offered to help the participants and leverage the certification effectively?
Yeah. So one of the ways by which the participants can leverage the certificate is forming the connections, right? I mean, once you're done, you will get mentored, right? I mean, if you recall, the last touch point in the journey was getting mentored, So, and these mentors are directors, senior director plus in their companies. So they are running a large product org. You may get other mentors too, but the ones which I showed on the deck are pretty senior folks. So getting mentored by those folks also opens a network for you people, right? I mean, so if you want, so what it does actually is, if you know that there's an opening in some company, which is like, let's say, dream company of yours, and you need a referral and you don't know anyone, let's just assume hypothetical example, you don't know anyone there. You put a Slack message on the channel saying that, hey, I came across this particular opportunity. I have done all these things from the NASSCOM, and I'm interested in this. I'm pretty sure that someone is going to put a referral for you. So getting access is much more faster. So that's how NASSCOM can help you once you're done with the course. And again, it's not about just after the course or just after breaking through the product management career. Even once you join any company as product manager and you want to kind of grow in the career, you're stuck, you are facing some issue with respect to, you put a Slack message, someone or other is going to kind of at least answer that to the best of the possible, within the given time constraints. And again, it's more like giving back to the ecosystem, giving back to the community, the larger goals. If you're asking, there will be a placement session. So my answer will be no, at least as of now, that's not happening. But we do have, so a lot of startups are kind of part of the various NASSCOM's Connect. So NASSCOM runs deep tech summits, which is like for the deep tech where The early stage startups and other stage startups are actually part of that. So the network is huge, and the advantage is you can tap that network. Yes.
Yes, it reflects through you, sir. It's nice to listen to all of this. I'd like to read out the next question. So, what is your opinion on staying updated about the industry trends and the competitors to ensure that our product remains competitive?
Yeah, it's important. So again, it depends on the stage. So industry trends, for example, let's just take LLM models for, right? It's on fire right now. So there are a couple of things. One is in need for a particular thing, right? I mean, the other thing is like the innovation part of it. We will disrupt the market by introducing something new. So what LLM is kind of trying to do is it's disrupting the market, right? Whether it was needed or not, it's a different question altogether. But they brought it, people jumped on it, so they're disrupting it. What Uber did, it's again a disruption, right? So you have to look into various lenses. One, if you are a research-oriented company, or if you have folks who are research-oriented and you can disrupt the market, that's one angle to look into. So bring in something which is not even thought of, right? That's one way. Second, you're an established company. You need to kind of monitor competitors. There's no way you can skip that. Even best of the best companies will keep monitoring even the upcoming startups in the space, right? So without quoting names, large multi-billion-dollar enterprise companies will look into and keep a track of what early stage startups are doing in the similar space or in a smaller space or smaller particular feature address, right? I mean, let's just say what they're doing, because today they may be small, but tomorrow they may become big in no time. So that's one of the things. So you will keep an eye on that as a PM for sure. You will keep competitor check. There are other ways by which large companies do that. So they will have competitive research team. I talked about analyst report, right? So the Frosters, the Gartners of the world will actually give more insights. You can just subscribe to that, pay for that. The analysts will come and they will brief you, and you will brief them about your product. That's another way by which you can keep an eye on what's happening in the competitor landscape. But if you don't have, if you are a PM in a company where you don't have these kind of resources, then we have to kind of, fill that gap, step in and do that. We can do in partnership with marketing, or we can do ourselves based on the composition of the team. Why industry trend is important is if you are not keeping an eye on that, you will not be kind of progressing. You will get stuck in the vicious circle of some enhancements, right? Let's fix this. 100 customers ask this, so let's take and prioritize this because that's the need. So you will not be taking a step back, looking into the big picture. What will be something which we will introduce now can change the way the user. So what we call is as jobs to be done. What's the jobs to be done for the user, right? That will change and that will ease. So definitely staying, current with all the trends in the technology is important. Keeping an eye on competitor is non-negotiable. You have to do it. If your company and has the resources, it becomes slightly easier. That's all I'll say.
Okay, so just one last question. What would be the course duration of this course?
I think it's a 4 to 6 weeks program. You can finish in that period. This is excluding the capstone project and other things. Yeah.
Okay, sir. I think that's it. I'll do my vote of thanks. Thank you so much, Paritosh, sir. As we come to the close of this inspiring event, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of you for being a part of this enriching experience. A special thank you goes out to Paritosh, sir, for being a part of this session and gracing us with his valuable insights and expertise. I also extend our thanks to each member of the Alumni Association as well as the college faculty for orchestrating this event so successfully. Once again, thank you all for your participation and engagement. Let's continue to learn, grow, and strive for excellence in all our endeavors. As my dear friends, Now that you have gotten a glimpse of the world of product management, you know that this course will offer you a structured path to excel in this dynamic field. So, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and register fast. The links will be provided in your respective groups. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. I think.
Thanks, everyone, and best wishes.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, he left. Om, you can put the streaming